Hi guys, my name is Bradley May. I am from Charles Darwin University. This is my assessment 2 virtual coaching for exercise physiology. So what type of training we're doing today? We're doing elasticity training. You've probably heard it called plyometrics. However, in the strength and conditioning world, it's slightly starting to switch over to elasticity training. Right, we are targeting sub-elite to elite pathway athletes to judge kind of what the session is going to be like. If you have a vertical leap in your fitness test, this workout is for you, okay? So first thing what I want us to do is get 2 scales, right? Stand on those scales, see what our weight distribution is. If we have a significantly heavier scale than the other, it means that we have an illicit limb discrepancy. What that means to you, not much, it means a lot to me. However, what it does mean to you is that when we're going to do our bilateral jumping, which is all of our jumping we're going to do today, we're going to make sure that we push through the leg that is a lighter weight on our scales. Okay, so we're going to keep within the power realm, which is 5 reps, okay, because the rate of force is power equals strength times speed. Where do we get that speed from? The plyometrics, okay? So there's 2 types of plyos. There's a slow plyo, which is 0.250 meters per second, our jump rate, and a fast plyo, which is 0.250 meters per second below, okay? So what we want to make sure that we don't want to load up into our jumps. We don't want to do any stretch shortening cycle. We want to just get down and get straight back up. We won't want to load up into it, which is activating our stretch shortening cycle to jump up, okay? Right, so what we do need a box, we do need some bands, and we do need a small step, but you can make a box for that. First warm-up exercise is the X-band walks. Here we need a band. We stand within the band, feet outside of our shoulders, right? From there, grabbing the opposite knees, standing up and twisting the band, making that X. Kicking the leg out to the left and sliding that trailing leg. Try to kick out as far as we can, keeping those legs nice and straight. Right, this is working our glutes, hamstrings, okay, as well as our abductor. So it's important to work the abductor prior to jumping as it protects our hamstrings. So from here, we are going to do 3 sets of 10 reps per side. Right, left side, right side is 1. Next warm-up exercise, B skip. So we start off in A skip or ankling. From there, talking to our right leg only, putting our right leg into B skip. Okay, from here we want to ensure that we keep our dorsiflexion in our ankle, right? And this is quite significant for jumping, ensuring that we are only talking to one leg in the lower limb. Okay, this is helping our hip flexors activate as well as working our calves, quads, hamstrings and glutes. And we want to do 1 by 30 reps per leg. Last of our warm-ups, pogos. So what we want to do, we want to make sure that we try to keep our quads flexed as possible, right? Try to lock them in as best possible. Make sure that we're not in plantar flexion, we're in dorsiflexion. So just for again from the side, plantar flexion, dorsiflexion is what we want. Perfect. We want minimal ground contact, hands on hips, take out that momentum, bouncing off our tippy toes. Right, so this is doing ankle mobility and calf activation. It is also working our calves, hamstrings and abdominals by keeping our upper body nice and tight, okay? So once again, we want to bounce off our tippy toes. I'll show you again from the side, making sure that our toes are pointed up, not in plantar flexion. We are doing 4 sets, 15 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. Alright, drop vertical jump. What we do need a little box again. So what we're going to do, we are going to stand on the box. From there, left leg out straight. Minimum, ensure that we have triple extension between ankle, knee, hip. What we don't want is our knees turning in, being knee valgus, and knees turning out, being knee varus. So as we can see here from the front, we're not looking for knee valgus, which is turning in, and we're not getting any knee varus, which is turning out. We also want to make sure we have minimum contact time, triple extension, and hit the ground. So DVJ, or a drop vertical jump, is a rehab and testing protocol. Okay, it teaches us to absorb force through the ankles and the knee. And we are working our glute, hamstrings and quads. What we do want with this though, we do want 5 sets of 3 reps per side. So split leg box jump. We do need 2 boxes. We stand in the middle of those boxes. We place our hands up by our temple. As we come down, we swing our hands behind those hips and throwing back up above our temple. Okay, watch now for a quick demonstration. From here, we want to make sure that that front leg is at 90 degrees, as well as that back leg being at a 90-degree angle. Okay, so the split leg box jump challenges our dynamic stability and coordination. It engages and stabilizes our core and hips, and also aids in ankle stability on that landing. It works our quads, hamstrings, calves, hip flexors. Okay, so what we want to do with this exercise here, we want to ensure that we're doing 4 sets by 4 reps per side. Alright, next exercise is handstands. What we want to make sure we have with handstand, we have a nice center of mass line through the body. Right, that is through our wrist, our shoulder, our hip and our ankle. When we come down on the ground, we want to make sure that our hands are flat on the ground and our wrists are in line with our shoulders, okay? Kicking that back leg up as quick as we can and making sure that those hips come straight in line with those shoulders, ensuring that we close our legs. So handstands help overhead shoulder girdle, stability and mobility from adduction and elevation. Also helps in pelvic rotation and body tension. And what we want to do here, we want to do 3 sets of 30 seconds, okay? So as we come down, we just want to reiterate that we are looking for that center of mass line. We're going to need the box again, and we have got straight-legged box jumps. So what we are going to do, hands by our temples, swinging back down, jumping straight back up, right? We want to take the hip flexor out of it, so we straighten our quad as much as possible and we land in plantar flexion, okay? Watch now for demonstration. And we land there in plantar flexion, perfect, okay? So in that plantar flexion, not in dorsiflexion when we land this time. So what we're trying to do, we are trying to take the hip flexor out of it, ensuring that we actually are trying to jump and keep those hips as high as possible. Where a normal box jump, we can get away with our legs coming higher and using more hip flexor, right? So with our straight-legged box jumps, we do want to do 6 sets of 3 reps, okay? Keep our hips nice and high, whereas the box jumps we don't get to do that, okay? So from there, we're taking the hip flexor out. Last exercise of the day is a side plank pull throughs. You need a box, and if you have a weight, you can use a weight. If not, you can use your hands. Right, so this side plank will help us with a thing called the Serpi effect. You don't know it, Google it, okay? So what we're going to do is show you the setup. From here we have a nice straight arm solid base, ensuring that we don't have too much leg on the box, and if we do, we just move forward slightly. We want to ensure that our feet are splayed so that when we do our pull through or rotate, we come onto our tippy toes. That is a very vital point to this exercise. So the side plank helps with core stability and the isometric contraction of the oblique. It also helps with spinal flexion, extension of the rotators. It also works your transverse abs, your scap stabilizers, obliques, and your abs. With this exercise, we're going to do 4 sets of 10 reps per side, making sure when we do this pull through that we end up as a T position at the end. Now that our main body is complete, we are going to go into our cool down. Okay, so with our cool down, we stretch the muscles that we work. So we worked our quad, hamstring, calf, and hip flexor. Okay, so we're going to start off with the quad stretch first. I'm only going to do one side, so 30 seconds on this side, and then we're going to change to the other side. However, you'll change to that in your own time, stretching out our quads. To make it a little bit difficult, put both legs to hands on the same leg. All right, next one, hamstrings. So anything straight-legged will work our hamstrings. I'm going to keep my front leg straight and my back leg and bent, and all the weight will be on that back leg. All right, once again, 30 seconds per side. So the reason we stretch for 30 seconds is that the first 18 seconds, right, change sides, and we're going to do a calf stretch now in the push-up position, one leg behind the other, walking our hands back slightly. So once again, we stretch for 30 seconds because the first 18 seconds is about the muscle relaxing, and then the last 12 seconds is about actually stretching the ligaments and tendons, which is what we are trying to do. Right, calf stretch, change legs. Right, hip flexor, one leg back, right, other forward, keeping that back leg straight. You should feel the stretch through the back hip flexor here. Once again, 30 seconds per side. And we are done. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. So that the cool down was shorter. However, we all know how to do cool down, 30 seconds per side, 3 sets through. Thank you.